Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for the 11/11 portal reading. As always, on the double number days, I do a portal reading. And I think it all started with the 11/11 portal. And then I decided, well, let's see what every portal, because every time we have a double number like this, there is an opportunity. There is something that we need to step through. And of course, the 11/11 portal is known for being one of the more considered, thought about, perhaps, portals. And really, what a portal is a doorway, right? It's a doorway to another perspective, maybe even another perspective on reality. And it's happening at a time of the year when the veil between dimensions is very thin. And I do believe that for reasons that are both experiential on my part and historical or hysterical, perhaps, on the part of what we'll say regular people see out there in the world. It indicates to me that this, in fact, is a time of great power to choose. And so let's take a look. We'll look at the um, more technical side of things, as I always do, it seems. And then we'll get into the reading, because I am going to be doing a card reading on this using the Thoth Deck. So before we get to that, let's take a look at, let's see, what do I want to do? Let's take a look at what I've procured here. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right. So this is very short. Usually I go into more detail with this stuff, but I want to spend more time on the actual card reading, because I think that's maybe more important, or certainly part. Well, I say I'm going to not do much, but then I end up getting on a tangent. So we'll see where this one goes. I'm always curious myself. All right. All right, so we're in the 11/11 portal, and let's take a look at the chart. Now, I did an 11/11 a.m. and I did an 11/11 p.m. chart, and they're really not that different, as it were. So I stuck with the 11/11 a.m. portal. And what I would suggest is during these portal times, if you have the opportunity, is to take some time at those times, 11/11 a.m., 11/11 p.m., whatever works better for you, and just sit with it and open up to spirit and see what comes through at this time. I think it's real important for us to just take a moment through our busy day, where we're often embroiled in a task. We're often or listening to something or filling our heads with what other people think about things. And it's time for us to look within and see what we think about things, or what we intuit about things, or what comes through us. Now, on the left here, we have the Tree of Life, and I've put all the planets and the signs that they're in. I've highlighted two things. I've highlighted Saturn here in pink, and I've highlighted the planets in Libra. One of the reasons I highlighted the planets in Libra is because the path, the 11 path, or the path connected to the Justice card in the tarot, is located right here, the 11 path, and that is the path of Libra. And so when we're in the 11/11 energy, chances are something is in Libra, because this is the Libra season. We're actually in Scorpio season, but there can be also, when you have things in Scorpio, maybe there are still some things in Libra, and we're not disappointed with this 11/11 portal. We have the South Node in Libra, of course, which is, very potent. We just had a South Node eclipse that pretty much turned the world on its ear. And we also have the moon there in Libra, and Venus, which is just moved into Libra just a few days previous to this. Now, Venus is the planet of relationship. And in Libra, it's about how we relate to others as a reflection of generally how we relate to ourselves. Libra is about balance, but it's also about extremes. So when things are in Libra, we can see the extremes. And the path that this 11 vibration is found on is the path that connects the Sun and Mars. And the Sun and Mars are in a balsam, very tight, we'll call it a tight conjunction here. And the Sun is balsamic to Mars, meaning that the Sun is moving towards Mars, and on the 18th of November, which is mere 7 days from this portal, it will be making a conjunction at 26 degrees of Scorpio. And that starts a synodic cycle, a 2-year synodic cycle. And that cycle is activating this path here. And so we can see that the Sun and Mars, the two planets associated with the 11 path, are in Scorpio. So we know that this is a time of transformation. If we look at this chart, let's just look at the chart itself and see what the chart is trying to tell us. Of course, we know that the North Node is in Aries. It is, let's see, is that a conjunction? Yeah, it's within a conjunction of Chiron in Aries. But besides Chiron, we also have the planet Eris here. I don't have it in here, but she is here. She is a conjunct the North Node. Eris is an energy of revolution, revolt, revolt against the powers that be mostly. And she's very wild energy. She's only really been with us in our consciousness since about 2000. I think it was 2005 or 2006. I can't remember exactly when she was founded, but she's been a player in a lot of the transformational processes that we have gone through, including her conjunction to Uranus and her square to Pluto. In fact, she's still square Pluto. And Pluto is a slower moving, faster moving than Eris, which would be sitting here. So Pluto to Eris is in a last quarter crisis in consciousness square. And this is another indication of revolution. So there's all kinds of revolution, evolution issues. Now, we have Pluto square the nodes of the moon and square this moon in Libra. Okay, pretty tightly square the moon in Libra. And of course, still square the nodes of the moon, and the resolution node being the south node. So we need to continue to reevaluate and renegotiate our relationship to power, who holds it, who has it, how those in power perhaps utilize the legal system to undo us, and also the power of the legal system to hold those accountable, to hold those in power accountable. So we do have a two-tiered legal system, certainly in this country, and I would say probably around the world, where those people who can afford the good legal representation get it, and those who can't suffer the consequences of an unfair legal system. So there's that to be considered. The other highlight of this chart is Saturn. And the reason I highlighted Saturn at a 0.5 degree of Pisces, just ready to move into, just out of his retrograde cycle, moving forward slowly. The reason I selected Saturn is because the vibration of the day, 20, is a 2911. So we're in an 1111. We're in an 1111 period, and the day actually vibrates to 11. And the 2911 is a special vibration because it's the same vibration as the word light. It is the 3 of Wands in the tarot, which is waiting for your ships to come in, right? And so there is this sense of having done some work and waiting for things to come our way. And I think this portal is going to give us some of that stuff. It kind of depends on where you've been working. As you sow, so shall you reap is very much part of the 11 vibration. So let's go on to this next because I want to get a little bit more specific into the path. So we're on the 22nd path called the faithful intelligence. This is the path of justice. This is the path of cosmic justice and karma. This is the path of karmic adjustments. Karma is a reflection of the workings of divine law of cause and effect. The sword of Gabura, the destructive principle, is necessary for spiritual enlightenment. Here we cut away the false values of past conditionings. And that's also reflected in the fact that the moon in Capricorn is conjunct the south node. I mean, the moon in Libra is conjunct the south node, and it's all square Pluto in Capricorn. That is easily could describe what I just said about cutting away false values of the past. They speak of the sword of Gabura because this path, if we can go back, this is Gabura. This is the Sephiroth of Mars. This is Tiferet, the Sephiroth of the sun. That's enlightenment and illumination. And of course, Mars is about sharp things and it's about cutting away. This is also the place of instant karma. And this is the path of karma. And this is the path of wholeness. And this is the place of wholeness, of integration. It's the center of the tree. Energetically, it's the heart chakra. Energetically, we're connecting our throat with our heart. So this is speaking your truth from your heart. And sometimes that truth can be a truth that people don't want to hear. And that's when it gets a little dicey in Gabora. And just to continue, dear, just to continue the rest of that slide. Karma is a reflection of the workings of the divine law of cause and effect. Tippereth is the birth of Christ consciousness. The sword of Gabura lightens us in preparation for that birth. The path of cosmic justice, which is not blind. And the number, of course, is 11. And now we have a double 11. So there's more at stake, right? And when you add 11, 11, you get a 22, which is the vibration of the master spiritual builder. Then you add the 7 vibration of the 7 universal year, and that's how we get the 2911. And of course, the 2911 is light. And 11 always also brings in the energy of choice. So we have a choice. Are we going to be in the light or are we going to stay in the darkness? So let's take a look at this card reading. I'm going to be using, as I said, the Thoth Deck because, I mean, for something as important as this, perhaps Thoth Deck is appropriate. I'm going to give it a good shuffle. Let's see what comes. We have a cold, rainy day today. It is, this is actually, I'm doing this before the portal. I generally like to wait for the day of the portal. But I had a little time and I'm like, oh, I could do that portal reading. I'm sure it'll be as pure as it would be if I did it on the day. All right. We start with success. This is the 6 of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles as a first of all, it's a six, and six is found in Tippereth on the Tree of Life, and is always associated with a balance. Six is a vibration of community. It's a vibration of love. It's a vibration of responsibility, and it deals with. In this case, it's what is it saying? Moon in Taurus. Moon in Taurus, according to how they look at this. For me, this vibration is a Taurus vibration. It is the second decan of Taurus. So it's the, let's see, it's the second decan of Taurus would be Mercury, ruled by Mercury. So there's some mind in here. So it's a balanced mind as well as a balanced physical balance. Now let's see what's challenging that. Revelation. The high priestess is about revelation. And so we have this sense of success and stability, but what's happening is things are being revealed to us. The high priestess is on the path. Actually, I'll show it to you. I have to have a Tree of Life here. The high priestess is found on this path. It is direct connection from spirit to earth. This is light on earth, right? It's the sun. So we have revelation. Let's see what's underneath it. The Nine of Cups. This is the wish card. We've actually wanted to see the truth. This is a wish. We want to be happy, right? Who doesn't want to be happy? Well, some people, I guess, because some people like really make an effort not to be happy, I think. Let me just I didn't put my little thing down here, and the cards are slipping all over the place. Okay. So this is at the root. The root is happiness. So we're all like, I think, we're looking around and saying, all this revelation and all the life, and how can we stay balanced through this uncovering? This is actually apocalypse, in that it's an uncovering. And that's what apocalypse, it means a uncovering of a situation. In the past, we have this is the Prince of Cups, is the King of Cups here. This is a sense of, father knows best kind of energy, right? It's a card like in America, and when you're doing readings, it can be Joe Biden, but this is also the shadow vibration of Donald Trump. So if we could use Donald Trump and also Joe Biden as conduits, some sort of conduit of past energy, right? Joe Biden's been in politics for 50 years or more. That's a long time to be in politics and still be alive and still have people like you. It's amazing. But then we also have this energy of the wounded through father, lack of love kind of energy that Trump brings in. And it's all sort of created this sort of perfect storm. Let's see what's in the sky. Justice, the 11 card. So whether it doesn't matter, it's happening. The balance is happening. The scales are being evened out, and we'll see that in the outer world as well, or maybe that's where we'll see it, in the outer world. And in the immediate environment, this is really the answer to the question, perhaps. And we have the Two of Swords, which is the card of peace in this deck. And so it's about crossing the swords, but not wielding the swords. It's about coming to a sort of X marks the spot. It's interesting because in the runes, this symbol, the X, is called Gibo, and Gibo is partnership. It's the give and take that it takes. And this is all very, and this is also a Libra card as well. So we can see all this Libra energy coming into this reading. And not only is this a Libra card, but this is a 5611. So here we have another 11. So far we have two 11s in this reading, and a 2. This is how it's seen from outside. A lot of tears, a lot of things to cry about, a lot of things to feel bad about, but ultimately, the energy of this breaks the stalemate, and it's expression of sorrow that brings freedom. How other people see this domestic situation. This is about agency and being in charge. This is about you being in charge of your world, okay? Knowing your co-creative power with the universe. This is an Aries card. Remember, the North Node is in Aries, conjunct Eris. So it may require some of us to be a little bit more revolutionary and anti-establishment than we normally would be. Hopes and fears, the Prince of Discs. We want security in this very insecure time. Really, that's what we would like. We would like the security, but the security that comes to all of us and not just some of us who happen to have all the money. Four of Swords, truce. So this is about coming to another X marks the spot. This is about balance. It is about relating. It very much looks like this could be an opportunity for some peace in some situations, whether it be the Ukraine or whether it be Israel and in Gaza, or just inner peace, like inner peace. So I'm going to pick 3 to see if we can get a major arcana. The first card I picked is the Ace of Wands. This is new beginnings. So new beginnings from a place of truce. I think we have to come to a point, or what these cards are saying is we need to come to a point that we all agree on. And I think we can all agree on that killing children is wrong. And killing people is wrong. I think we can all agree on that. We have the 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands. This is oppression. So it's interesting because we have the Ace of Wands, the beginning, and then we have the end. Beginning and the end, that tells me that this is a beginning and an end and a new beginning cycle. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is actually also an 11 vibration, and the system I use is a 3811 vibration. And it speaks of our ability to be compassionate, to listen to one another. Tea and empathy kind of situation. Underneath it all, we have the 10 of Cups, the Chariot, which is the universal vibrational year. So this is about the manifestation of your destiny, of what you came in here to do. And the next card is the Knight of Wands. So what this reading and what this reading is talking about, I think, is for you to find, well, first of all, to know yourself, which we've been working on all year, and some of us our whole lives. I think we all trying to figure out who we really are. We've been told who we are, and for many people, that's what they go by. They've been told this is who they are, this is what they are to believe, this is their reality. And then there are those who've always sort of questioned it. And I think, and I certainly have questioned my reality more than once in my lifetime. I was, for those of you who don't know, I was adopted as an infant, and my parents never told me. So I had a sense that I was loved, I was taken care of. I'm a very lucky person and very, very grateful for everything that was given to me with great love. and a willingness to just give everything if that's what I needed. I mean, I couldn't have been loved more in a way. But there is a right for you to know who you are, and I never really quite knew who I was. So I never quite felt comfortable in my own skin, and it required me to look beyond what the outside world was telling me and to go within. And that's a process that I've done my whole life. And I know many of you feel the same way. Many of you feel like the person in your family who just didn't fit in, the black sheep, although they say the black sheep is the healthiest sheep in the herd, never quite felt. And it's funny because if you probably ask every person in a family, and I'm an only child, so I couldn't ask anybody else, but in that family dynamic, you probably get a few people who feel like who are these people that I'm living with, right? So, but because of what's going on now, everybody is questioning. It's not just the people who had a situation like I did, or you're a star seed and you're like, what planet is this? I don't recognize any of this. This is not what I know to be true when it comes to reality. So, for those of us who are star seeds who've come into this life um, to kind of show the way, there's always a discomfort. There's always a certain amount of discomfort that you have. And so now everybody's uncomfortable. And so everybody's trying to figure out like who they are. And I think that the key to really to success is love and happiness. I mean, everybody wants to be happy. Nobody wants to be miserable. The question is, how do we get to the happiness? And the happiness we get through knowing who we are, knowing our purpose, um, opening up to um, we can never expect somebody, and this is a Libra lesson, I think, and perhaps an 11:11 lesson. We cannot expect somebody to make us happy if we're not happy. We cannot look outside of ourselves. In the charge of the goddess, there's a line, um, that which you cannot find within, you will never find without, and that is a truth. And so, if you need the happiness, you have to figure out what that means for you. Um, I almost in exclusion of anybody else or any situation. Like, where do you feel the most content? Where is your heart the most open? Because where can you be most successful, right? This is a Tipper Earth card. This is about the heart. Um, and be able to keep your balance through the revelations that the reality that you thought you were living in is perhaps not the reality that you're experiencing. And so we're all waking up. I know they talk about all this woke, anti-woke stuff, but you you can't there's an expression, you can't put the thing back in. I don't know, like once things are broken open, you can't really do anything except be in the new experience. And I think that's what we're all doing. So let me see if I can pull I'm going to pull one more card here. And I think I'm going to go to the spirit of the wheel. I'm in my little cubby and it is so cold in this cubby. I'm like, I have my little blankie and I have my cozy shirt. It's cold and wet today. And I live in a very old house in New England, so it can get a little chilly. All right, let's take a look and see what the spirit of the wheel. Let's pick an oracle. All right, spirit of the wheel. Nice shuffle. Leadership, self-discipline, and psychic abilities, 18. The interesting thing about this card is that in November of 2023, we're in an 18-9 monthly vibration. And I'm going to read this right from the book because it's just so well written. Leadership, self-discipline, and psychic abilities. Those born under the big wind moon are cyclically connected to the spiritual realm. The big moon, the big wind's moon is Pisces. Pisces. Now Neptune is in Pisces, right? And Neptune's at the end of Pisces. So Neptune has been in Pisces for quite a while. Those born under the big moon winds are psychically connected to the spiritual realm. Their ability to communicate with unseen forces comes easily to their highly sensitive natures. This card signals a time when your own psychic abilities are very strong. Your intuitions are very much in tune with your higher self. In fact, Libra is the sign associated with the higher self. The other that we seek in Libra is our own spiritual higher self. It's the part of us that remains in the higher realms as our lower self comes into the lower realms, the realms of manifestation to experience. And when we reconnect with our higher self, we bring in all the power of spirit and soul. Allow this connection to help you on your path. You have procrastinated long enough. Stop self-sabotaging, as it is not only limits your potential, but feeds your insecurities. You are lacking in self-discipline. Call upon the courage of the big wind's moon, and of course this mountain lion, which is symbolic of leadership. Call upon the courage of the big wind's moon to see your dreams and visions through to the end. Spirit is asking you to share the bounty of your life. That's what I said, didn't I? Channel your creative inspiration and learn to flow with the spiritual energies around you. Take your place of power. Big wind's moon people are often leaders because of their spirituality and their natural compassion for others. Learn to trust in the greater plan. Creator would not ask you to develop and share your gifts if you were not ready. Have faith in yourself and see your dreams through. And this is your prayer. And I'll hold this up. Prayer, yeah? Let's try to hold it up where you can actually see the card. It's hard for me to tell. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, anyway, I'll read it. I am ready, Spirit, to share the bounty of my life with others. I call upon the energies of big wind's moon, for the courage to be a leader and to use my abilities wisely for the good of the whole. That is the message of the 1111 portal, guys. As you sow, so shall you reap. It's best to be who you are. It's a beautiful thing. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please like and subscribe if you would. If you'd like to support me, I do have a Patreon page. You can support me that way. It's greatly appreciated for as little as $5 a month. We are going to make this. We're going to make it through yet another portal. Things look bleak, but things are changing, and we are moving into the light. The decision really has been made that we're moving into the light. Now we just have to be ourselves and enlighten our beingness, North Node and Aries. And we will create this new earth together, because that's the only way we're going to do it. Take care, everyone, and namaste.